James Gunn teases Peacemaker's future, hinting at new DCU arcs for John Cena's Chris Smith while confirming shocking character twists. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. During his interview with Deadline, James Gunn also addressed one other possible theory about Cena's Chris Smith. As fans who are regularly keeping themselves updated with the soon-to-conclude Season 2 of Peacemaker must know, Chris killed his doppelganger, who was reportedly an Aryan Utopia, at the end of the first episode of this season. The incident occurred after the character traveled to a parallel universe in search of a better life with his parallel universe family. With the second season of Peacemaker having neared its end, the buzz surrounding John Cena's future as the fictional DC antihero is pretty high. Recently, DC Universe's co-CEO, James Gunn, was asked to address the possibility of there being a Season 3 for the fan-favorite series, and the program creator had a pretty cryptic response for the same. Engaging in a conversation with Deadline a few days ago, he responded to the query about another season of Peacemaker, saying, "You're gonna find out more in Episode 8 because it's not necessarily that. Some of these characters will continue, but also, it's not exactly Peacemaker 3. I'm not ruling it out. You'll see, Episode 8 and maybe you'll find out a little bit more." While he didn't confirm it, Gunn also didn't entirely shut the door for the possibility of a third season for the Prime Video series. Either way, while John Cena's future remains uncertain, judging from Gunn's words, one thing is clear. Some key characters from the Peacemaker universe will continue to have a presence in the DC universe. Moving forward still, this brought about the speculation. Could it be that Chris' father, Augie, played by Robert Patrick, is actually alive? And was it an Augie clone that Chris killed at the end of Season 1, and that the real Augie has been living in the other verse? As interesting as these questions might be, Gunn had a pretty flat-out answer to all of them. No. Continuing, he once again pushed the entire talk and speculation about it onto the next episode, i.e., the most recently released Episode 7. Gunn said, "Whatever Augie is in this other world, he's kinder to his children. That is true. We'll find out more about Augie next episode." And that's what happened, too. In a shocking turn of events, Episode 7 revealed Augie Smith, aka
James Gunn
Blue Dragon,
finally answers
to
if
be a man
Peacemaker
fighting
Season
against
2 will have
fascism
David
instead of the
Cornsweet
monster
showing
that
up as
Chris knew
Superman
from Season
after
1.
episode CXS
Unfortunately,
explosive cameo.
he couldn't sport his
Welcome
good side
to
and win
Stats
fans
In.
over with it for
If you're
too
just
long,
joining us,
as
please
Augie soon
subscribe
faced a
and don't
tragic
forget to
end.
turn on
After
notifications
explaining
bell
to
for
Chris
more
and
video.
Harcourt that he only
Please
fought
like,
the madmen,
share,
murderers
and
and monsters
subscribe
in
for
front
more.
of him.
It's safe to
because
say that
that's
we all share
he
Cornsweet's
can
dismay,
control.
but Gunn wouldn't
The
want to
character
force
was
the character
brutally killed
into the
by
story
Vigilante,
if it would not serve a
played by
purpose.
Freddie Stromer,
His choice to
while
bring
trying
in
to
Lex
save his
Luthor instead of
newfound
Superman
allies.
was intentional,
So that's that too.
revealing in the same
However,
interview that the cameo
upon
directly
discovering an
impacts
alternate,
what happens in the
more
next
successful
chapter of
version
Superman
himself,
saga.
the
Many
two got
fans were
into a
thrilled
fight.
to see Nicholas
The
Hoult
brawl
show
happened
up
in
as
the
Lex
quantum
Luthor in
unfolding
Peacemaker
chamber,
Season 2,
and Chris
which brings them
accidentally
to
killed
ask
his
the next most
doppelganger by
sensible
impaling
question.
him on a spiked
Will
ceiling
Superman show up
fixture.
as well?
He then
According
disposed
to
of the
James
body
Gunn,
with the help of
David
Vigilante,
Cornsweet won't
but it
appear in the
continues
series,
to be a traumatic
much to the
experience
disappointment
that
of
haunts
viewers.
him during his interview
Speaking with
Deadline.
Variety, the
James
head of
Gunn
DC
also addressed
confirmed,
one other possible
David
theory
was
about
very
Cena's
upset
Chris
that
Smith.
Nick got to be on the
As
show,
fans who are
and he
regularly
didn't.
keeping themselves
It just
updated with
didn't
the soon-to-conclude
work.
Season
Last
2
time,
of Peacemaker
the
must
filmmaker
know,
teased a huge
Chris
cameo
killed his
coming our way,
doppelganger,
and
who
many
was
speculated
reportedly
it
an
had to be
Aryan
Superman.
Utopia.
There
At
might
the end
even
of the
be
first
one really,
episode of this
really,
season,
really big
the
cameo
incident
near
occurred
the
after
end of
the
the show,
character
he
traveled to a
previously
parallel
told
universe
Entertainment
in
Weekly.
search of a better
Well,
life with
that
his
should be
parallel
Lex
universe
Luthor,
family.
and seeing we only have
Fans
two
must
episodes
remember
left in the
that
chamber,
Mern was the
fans
character
shouldn't
that Chris
expect
worked
another
for in
bombshell
Season 1.
cameo.
And he was
What
also
Lex
the
and
one
Rick
who
Flag
turned
are
out
up
to
to
be
affects
possessed by
very much
Igno
what
Block.
happens in an
He was an
aspect of
alien
Man of
butterfly
Tomorrow.
who didn't want to join
So
his
all
people's
of that
plans
is
for world
connected.
domination.
But this
At the end of
relationship
that
between
season,
Rick Flag and
Mern
Lex
faced his
Luthor is
demise
a
in
potentially
Episode
negative
8,
thing for
a whole new
Superman
way
and
to
all
die.
metahumans.
This happened when
Gunn
Butterfly
plotted
Song
this out
shot
from the
Mern's
beginning,
body,
and while he
killing the
admitted he
butterfly
doesn't have
Igno
all
Block
the nitty-gritty
inhabiting it,
details yet,
after
he has the whole picture in
Harcourt,
mind.
and
The
Adebayo were
DC chief
ambushed by a
said he
group of
suggested this
butterflies at his
direction to the
apartment.
higher-ups at Warner
Turns
Brothers.
out,
So it was
the
clear
DCU
as day
co-CEO
that
was
Superman
actually
had to hold
planning
up
on
a
bringing
small
him
special
back in this
cameo
latest
for a much
season.
larger storyline.
This plan would have
Adding
seen
in the
Mern
same
in Earth
conversation
2,
with Variety,
i.e.,
he explained
Earth
why
X,
Lex Luthor had to
as
show
another
up in
member of the
Peacemaker
Sons of
Season
Liberty
2 and
alongside
consequently
Vigilante,
why Superman shouldn't
looking
be
to
there.
free the planet from the
Little is
Nazi-like
known about the
regime.
upcoming Superman
On a
movie,
recent
Man
episode
of
of the
Tomorrow,
Peacemaker
but Gunn
podcast
confirmed in the
via
show's
YouTube,
official podcast
Gunn
channel that the
candidly
cameo
addressed the
scene is a
same,
very important moment
saying that
not only
instead
for
of being the
Peacemaker but
worst
for the
guy in
entire
the world
DCU
before he became a
franchise.
butterfly,
The key
Mern on
cameo
their
acts
planet
as a
was a
bridge
total
between
action
2025 Superman
He also
and the
likened the
upcoming
character to
sequel
a
film.
kick-ass Harriet
Episode
Tubman.
6 saw Lex
Had
Luthor
this plotline
serving time at the Bell
materialized,
a prison,
it would have been
and
part
Argus
of a
head
larger
Rick Flag
storyline for
Sr.
the
strike a
season,
deal that
but it
promises
ended up
redemption.
being CU.
Fans can
Kevin
already
Feige may be
anticipate
attempting to
Luther
fix
moving
the
out of
errors
that
of
prison
MCU
and
since
plotting
its
another
Avengers
scheme that would lead to the
Endgame
potential
days.
events in
But
Man
it is
of
a
Tomorrow.
tad too late with
That
actors
cameo
already
was
avoiding
just
the
enough to
MCU.
set up the stage
Welcome
for
to Stats
Superman's
In.
next journey.
If you're just joining
Do you
us,
think
please
Superman
subscribe
should
and
have a
don't
cameo
forget to
in
turn on
Peacemaker
notifications
Season 2?
bell for more videos.
Let us know in
Please
the comments.
like,
Iconic
share, and
director
subscribe
James
for more.
Gunn talked about
The
his
roller
indirect
coaster journey
sequel
of
to
Avengers.
Superman, titled
Endgame
Man
was
of
an
Tomorrow,
irreplicable
and
success
how he
for
plans
two
to change the
reasons.
tone of the film.
Primarily,
Well,
the build-up to
complaint
that
is simple.
story lasted
Really,
11 years.
casual moviegoers
Starting
did not
from the
enjoy the
innocent
excessive
origin of Iron
comic-related
Man to the
talks, much
complexity
like
of
how
the
the
Infinity
MCU
War.
keeps itself
The
separate
first three
from Marvel
phases
Comics.
of the MCU
Welcome
were a whole
to
universe
Stats In.
unto themselves
If
that
you're just joining
unexpectedly
us,
and
please
beautifully tied
subscribe
together
and
into
don't
a
forget to
single
turn
story
on
in the
notifications
end.
bell for
The
more
state
video.
of the Marvel Cinematic
Please like,
Universe is
share,
at a
and
historical
subscribe
low
for
since
more.
its conception
Gunn's
in
earlier movies in the
2008.
MCU,
Kevin
namely
Feige's reign
Guardians of the
has
Galaxy
suffered a major
Volume
blow
1,
since the
Volume
epic
2,
and unmatchable
and Volume
finale of
3
Avengers
never had that
Endgame.
problem from fans.
With the franchise now
However,
unable to
it
mimic
felt like
the
Gunn
success
spent a
of
lot
its
of time trying
2019
to set the
magnum
stage
opus,
for his DC universe,
not only is
and not
Marvel's
enough time building a
creativity
bond
at
with
risk,
Superman or
but
giving
actors,
depth to the Justice
too,
Gang.
are reportedly
With the
starting
resounding
to
success
avoid
and
the
fame
franchise.
that James Gunn's
As
Superman
reported
found
by an
after its
industry
release,
agent to
the director
Variety,
couldn't help but reveal
joining
his
the
plans for an
MCU
indirect
is
sequel to
still
the
a crazy,
2025 movie.
life-changing
During his talk
opportunity,
with the
but I don't
Ringerverse,
have as many
Gunn
clients
talked about
asking
his
to do
plans
one
for
as
the
they were
upcoming
5
Man
years ago.
of Tomorrow.
At this
Praising
point,
Lex Luthor
the
for
MCU
almost
was
everything,
purely radioactive
Gunn stated
to the
that the
touch.
upcoming movie
The
will
franchise,
focus more on the characters
despite
of
its
Lex
17
Luthor and
years
Superman
of rich legacy,
rather than the humor
has
scenes.
spiraled out of control
Superman
since the
is more
pandemic era
comic booky
downfall
in
and
some
the
ways
industry's
than Man of
response to the
Tomorrow.
aftermath.
It has
Variety
to do with
also
the dual
records how the
characters of
2025
Lex and
box
Superman
office is
at the
down
center.
17.4%
Casual moviegoers
domestically
complained
and
that the film relied too
10.5%
much on the
globally
comic book
against the
part, and that
2010
they
to
wouldn't know about the
2024
Justice
average.
Society Hall of
A
Fame or
statistic
Guy
that further
Gardner
helps
without
prove
some
why
earlier
actors
help.
are wary of the
However,
once glorious
James
franchise.
Gunn's Man of Tomorrow
Marvel
might
has a lot of
rectify that
promises still
mistake.
to keep,
What are your
despite
thoughts
its
about
constant
James
bout of
Gunn's
defeat
comment?
since Endgame.
Let us know
With
in the
films and
comments
series flooding
below.
phases 4 and
Instead
5,
of just a singular hero
the
in
MCU
sight,
has set up
Man
a gallery of
Tomorrow will
superheroes
focus
and
on two
stories that are
protagonists,
neither interlinked
namely
nor have an
Superman
important
and Lex
part in the
Luthor.
broader sense
The
of
shift
the
in
story.
tonality for
But
the
now,
upcoming sequel
Feige
hints
is
that
keen to
James
rectify
Gunn
his
is
error,
preparing to take a more
starting with the
philosophical
Phase 6
approach rather than a
storyline.
straightforward
Both Fantastic
storytelling.
Four and
The
Thunderbolts
upcoming film
Asterisk
will
have
likely
enjoyed a
focus
degree
more
of
on the
fan
characters
success for
rather
their
than the
ensemble
grandiose
cast and
spectacle
tonally
of the
grounded
story.
plots.
Of course,
Now,
the classic
fans
Gunn
can look
sense of
ahead to
humor
the
will
largest
remain in the
Avengers
movie,
event since
but
Endgame
don't count
with
on it
Avengers
completely.
Doomsday.
Similar to Gunn's
The film
earlier
will bring
works,
back a record
Man of
number
Tomorrow
of
will
heroes and
derive from the
villains of the
comic
Marvel
books,
universe,
but will probably have a
while
modern
also
twist
featuring
attached to
Robert
it,
Downey Jr.
much like
as its
Peacemaker and the
unforgettable
Suicide
big
Squad.
bad, Dr.
Whatever the
Doom.
case may be,
Its follow-up
one
film,
thing that can be said
Secret
for certain
Wars
is that it is
2,
going to be epic.
aims to replicate the gargantuan success of the Infinity Saga's 2-part finale. However, without the decade-long plot build-up, emotional investment in the new set of heroes in the universe, or even a proper exploration of the stakes, it is highly doubtful whether Doomsday and Secret Wars will have the same impact as Infinity War and Endgame. Below is a table reflecting the ratings and earnings of the Infinity Saga's 2-part finale. The success and delivery of such a complex story with so many parallel arcs and plots make Endgame a necessary case study for future ensembles. Secondly, the nostalgia and anticipation that brewed with Endgame, be it in its dialogue, action, or storytelling, elevated it to a status unheard of before. The big question on everyone's mind this weekend: can Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle slice its way past The Conjuring, last rites at the box office? One is anime's shiniest new event movie. The other is horror's longest-standing titan, and they are